Hands up all those who overindulged this Christmas. I think most people did, and perhaps you're now feeling pretty rotten, a bit ill, and the last thing you feel like doing is any exercise or getting fit. But our experts are here tonight to help us get back on track. We have Mandy Saligari back with us, Clinical Director and founder of Day Charter, to talk about binge drinking and the effects of alcohol abuse over the festive period. You'll be able to identify if you yourself are a binge drinker, even if you don't drink every day. Our resident fitness expert, Jane Rafter, founder of JCW Fitness, is back with us to talk about fitness over the festive period and how to get back into exercise. And also Andrew and Carol West, owners of Obsidian, will be talking to us about the benefits of detoxing and also juicing. So if you want to take part in this show at all, you can email Chris at chrissybshow.tv. So let's speak to our first guest. I'm pretty sure I got the company name wrong, didn't I? Thank you. Yeah, I could see. What is it? Can you explain it properly?
It's Charter
Daycare. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that. Okay, so tell us what you do first of all.
All right. Happy Christmas, by the way. Okay, so I'm the clinical director and founder of Charter, which is an addiction treatment facility in Harley Street and counselling and psychotherapy centre.
Right, okay. So you get a lot of people in need coming to you.
Yeah, we get people on their knees. That's when they come to us. We get people when they are really down low, in need of help, have exhausted all sorts of other options. Family members have lost patients, relationships are breaking down. That's when I see people.
Okay, so today we're actually going to speak just about the alcohol at the moment. So what is the difference between binge drinking and being an alcoholic? Because they are quite different, aren't they?
Okay, so binge drinking is when you drink twice the government recommended limit, which is 2.5, 3 units a day for women and 4 units for men, something of that kind.
What is a unit? Is it like a
unit?
glass?
Big glass of wine, pint of beer.
So if you drink like
3 units is a big glass of wine or a pint of beer. So if a woman was going to have her recommended daily dose, if you want to call it that, it's a large glass of wine or a pint of beer.
So it's very, very easy to binge drink then?
Yeah. So
how many times a week would you have to
2 or 3 times a week, and that would constitute a binge drinker. So I dare say this,
We have a lot of binge drinkers that didn't know they were binge drinkers then.
Yeah, I mean, there are 6 million binge drinkers logged in the UK. Britons binge drink more than any other European country.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's part of our culture. I think that we drink to get drunk. In a way, if you think about the Italians, they will have a small alcoholic drink to
they're quite sophisticated about it, aren't they? Here it's like you see people kind of falling over and staggering home. So it's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
But I don't know why people love to do that over here.
Well, I think that the binge drinking population really falls between the 16 and the 34-year-old. It's that kind of population. You asked what the difference is between alcoholic and binge drinking. I just need to say that the binge drinker can be alcoholic and the alcoholic can be a binge drinker, but you can be one without the other. So the thing that makes somebody an alcoholic, if you like, rather than a binge drinker, is the connection with the emotions. So if you're using something outside of yourself to compensate for how you feel, to the detriment of yourself, you're falling into the auspices of addiction, of alcoholism, if you like. And then it gallops out of control. The binge drinker can go and cane it, and that is the point if you're a binge drinker. You literally go out to drink and get drunk, and then you'll stop, feel rough, maybe use a number of things to make yourself feel better for a few days, probably swear that you're never going to drink like that again. The denial kicks in 3 days later, you're doing the same thing.
Now, a lot of people will see it as a bit of fun. It's funny to get drunk. It's funny to not remember what you did the night before. But what are the actual effects of binge drinking on the body?
Well, if you look at your body as a kind of machine, a sorting system, so whatever you put in has got to be sorted out by your body, the binge drinker sends in large volumes, actually not always large volumes, because the binge drinker is often drinking shots and that kind of thing. It's kind of high volume, low amount, low quantity. So they're looking really to get the quickest way to get drunk. So the body gets assaulted, the liver, for example, gets assaulted by a high volume of alcohol and has very quickly got to wake up and do its job under duress. So key major dangers, if you like, of binge drinking are higher risk of heart attack.
Even if you're young?
Oh yeah, even if you're young, vomiting, choking on your vomit, something that many people.
That's something that people wouldn't even think of. I'm gonna die tonight because I'm gonna choke on my own vomit.
Yeah.
You don't kind of link the two.
I actually knew someone who who's a friend, not through my work, but someone I knew when I was younger, when I was at school, who died because she choked on her vomit.
Oh God, that's
she
awful.
she was absolutely pissed. Went home, got into bed, and died.
How old is she?
She must have been 17, 18, something
God,
like that.
Awful.
So, I mean, and the thing is, if you say that when you're out drinking, you know, oh, he's so pissed, he might, you know, get lashed up and choke on his own vomit, everybody laughs. It's such a, because people are used to being sick from alcohol, and you sort of joke about it, but the reality is, what a pointless way to die. You know, and it does happen. So people can pass out, they can pass out on their backs. You see someone who's inebriated, flat on their back, and you just kind of laugh and carry on partying or whatever. But if they're sick, they got nowhere to vomit it out to.
And obviously accidents as well, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're
high risk of
drunk,
accident,
walk into the road, don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So how can people actually? Because we are in the festive period still, right up until the new year.
Yeah, don't want to spoil everybody's drinking.
But how can people actually control that? How can they sort of be sensible about drinking?
You know, the difficulty is that when you go out to binge drink, there's so much more to it. I mean, I've said it's about getting really drunk, but you think, well, why do you want to go out and get absolutely hammered if you want to go and see your friends? But there's something very bonding about everybody being on the same page, everybody going out, getting lashed up, having this kind of sense of herd, this sense of union, this sense of a gang, everybody's on it. Yeah. So, and I think that's one of the key things that people do. You get over your social anxiety, you get over a sense of not fitting in, everybody goes in, everybody gets on it, everybody's in, and you have this wonderful sense of camaraderie. And I think that because we live such a fast, stressed, disjointed society, we're linking up via Facebook and social media and so on, but I do think there's a genuine craving for that kind of connection, and we need to achieve it very quickly. So you kind of schedule in your binge drink, meet up, get on it, bond up, make some stories from your behaviours and all the things that happen, you know, and then catch up later in the week.
Listening to it put like that, it sounds really like silly, doesn't it, that people do that? Just to kind of get it. Yeah. It sounds so pointless. Like, isn't there anything else to talk about? Or don't you have any other stories to share apart from what happened to you when you were drunk?
And I think it's true. I think, you know, you've got this age group, this 16 to 34 year age group, where if you look at the young, there's probably slightly different stories, if you like, that go with it. But certainly in that younger generation, it is absolutely, it's absolutely the point. So you say, what would somebody do? How can you pace yourself within it? And all the classic textbook stuff is, you know, have an alcoholic drink and then have water, or have spritzers, or water it down. But what's going to happen is not just that you're going to be watering down your drinking, but you're going to be opting out of, are we in or are we not? Yeah. You know, you're either one of the caners and one of the gang, or you're not, and you're just a subsidiary and you're following. And this kind of hierarchy operates really powerfully, really subtly in this kind of drinking culture. And so when you say, I'll just have a water, you'll either be ridiculed back into activity, or you're just going to feel that you're not quite as much in as you were when you were drinking. So I think there's more to it than simply saying to people the very sensible message, which is, you know, drink a glass of water, water down your drinks, have a shandy or a spritzer or whatever, instead of a drink. So I do think it's genuinely tough. And I think the key, the cleverest key, is actually to drink more slowly.
Right.
But it's really hard to do. If you're drinking little shots, I mean, will you have a chaser after every single drink? How much of your identity is attached to being one of the guys who's on it? Are you one of the ones who's really going to make the night happen? Is so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so coming because they're coming, we're all on it, let's get on it. You know, this identity thing, and then you have to fulfill it again and again and again every time you go. So I think it's genuinely difficult to pace your drinking.
What about when people come to you and they are involved with, you know, this binge drinking culture? What's like advice that you would give to them? Because normally you'd think, okay, stay away from those kind of friends, but it's not as easy because people have friends, they've built up relationships with people. They can't, a lot of them find it difficult just to kind of break away, even if they do have a serious drinking problem, even if it's not just binge drinking, they are maybe alcoholics as well. Yeah. How would you advise them? What would you say to them?
All right, well, what I would say is when you're going out, firstly, line your stomach. it's a real
not with
mother's
alcohol, right?
advice. No, not with alcohol. Line your stomach with carbohydrates.
Right, okay.
So things like pasta, not a huge meal that's going to come up later, but a meal that's got slow release carbohydrates in it. So you line your stomach. That way you protect your stomach lining from the kind of pernicious activity around alcohol in your stomach. And also it's going to make it's going to slow down the absorption of the alcohol into the bloodstream. Some people, maybe even right now, are out there drinking before they go out because they want to kind of hit the ground running. They want to be up and running and out and drinking. Just be careful about what you're drinking before you go out, because you really will set your taste buds, you'll set your agenda for what's going to happen later. So accept the fact that you're going to go out and drink. Know that when you have your first drink, you'll be kind of rocking along. You might have to, struggle to connect with people to start with, but try not to drink before you go out. Try not to set yourself up to be half cut before you leave. When you're out, slow down the drinking, order, the smaller glass of wine rather than big ones. Don't go for doubles in your spirits. If you're going to drink a pint, don't ask for a chaser. Say, I'll go later, I'm trying to pace myself. Appeal to your friends. Talk to a few really close friends that you trust and say, look, I need to slow down a little here.
That's important, isn't it?
And
so
you get a community.
Like you're hiding from everyone.
Absolutely, and you can be on side. So somebody comes up and says, do you want to have another drink? Come on. You go, no, look, I'm having a conversation. You're in a conversation with someone who goes, look, back off, I'll see you later. You have support. So then you're not going to be compromised around that sense of belonging. And if you can kind of mitigate for the dehydration, which is what the alcohol will do to you, try and have water throughout the evening. I mean, it's really important because you set yourself up for being dehydrated. That's all the headaches and so on and so forth that are often such a huge part of the hangover.
Okay, and family members as well, if they're worried about a family member that is a bit of a drinker and they're going out, they're worried for their safety. How can family members help? Okay,
well, family members need to be saying to the individual, I'm worried about you, you don't seem yourself. You seem to have been really tired. Concentrate on how they are the day after rather than on the alcohol. Same old story. If you attack something that somebody is really attached to, all you're going to get is manipulation and defense. So we're looking for somebody to be able to say, look, I'm really worried. You seem to be feeling really rough every morning. You've been late every day. You've been getting up every day. You've not been doing X, Y, and Z.
So not to say to them directly, look, I'm worried about your drinking problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go down well. If you can say that to someone and you're close enough, great. But you're likely to cause offence and you're going to need to follow it up. If you're really worried about someone's drinking problem, then go and seek support to set up a strategy from an addiction specialist, to set up an intervention or a strategy so that you're supported when you confront someone's drinking.
Right. Okay, Mandy, thank you so much.
Brilliant.
So hopefully people will be sensible or continue to be. If they haven't been sensible up until now, they will be from, because we've got the new year coming up as well, right?
Absolutely. New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Okay, so after the break, we'll also be joined by fitness expert Jane Rafter. And we actually went along to one of Jane's classes, which was really, really great fun. And it was a lot of fat burning on the day, but I loved it. So join us after this. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. So how can we get back into fitness after we've overindulged over Christmas? Let's take a look at this. Hi guys, so now we have a confession to make, Jane. We've been very naughty over Christmas.
I think everybody has.
We've eaten loads and we need some help. So how can you help us today?
Okay, I think everyone's feeling exactly the same. So we're going to do a class that's high energy. It's going to boost your metabolic rate, get you moving again, and it's great for fat burning and toning, and especially for the lower body and the tummy. I'm really going to get into the glutes, the bum muscles and the tummy. And
we need to get the tummies back.
Definitely.
Nice lean tummies.
We need to burn off the mince pies, and that's what we're going to do today.
We've got the ladies here as well to join us. Hi. Hi. Okay, so we're ready to go, I think.
Excellent. Do it again. Leg curl. Stay here. Great vibe. Leg curl. Excellent. Great vibe. So you feel a stretch here. 2 more like this. Breathe it out, guys. That's correct. shoulders up. Press your lower back into the floor. Now give me a twist and hold. That's good. One more. 2, shoulders down the back. Belly to spine. We did 4. Drop your knees if you have to. So we've just done our workout. I don't know if you joined in at home, but as you can see, we're all red in the face, sweaty and glowing and out of breath, and that's how you should feel when you've had a really good workout. So make sure you get all nice and hot and sweaty as well, and you'll get the results that you're looking for.
And the lovely Janie's here with us. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Chrissy.
You
Hi.
look fabulous, by the way, because normally when you come on, you make you do demos and stuff, so you're always wearing your gym gear. But
I'm
you
in my
look
normal
beautiful.
clothes today. Thank you very much.
So tell us a bit about the class that we did there, because it was really like, I have to say, after I did that class, I was so motivated. I didn't realise how much I'd actually missed doing like classes as well.
Yeah.
So I started to actually get into my exercise again. So it's been really motivated me.
Yeah, that's great. And I think the other thing when you're in a class is that you've got the music. You actually couldn't hear the music we used on that little clip.
Oh, I love the music we used.
But we had fun music, didn't we?
Yeah,
and
we did.
You know, when we were younger, we used to go out dancing, and if you don't do that anymore, if you're of a certain age, it's the closest you get to dancing. So the music is really motivating. And we did a real mixture, didn't we, of fat burning and toning and abdominals. So that's the ideal sort of class to get in shape after Christmas.
Do you know, I was quite tired at the beginning, but after a certain time, it's like the tiredness just went and I wanted to continue. I didn't want it to stop.
And you know what that is? It's the endorphins kicking in your brain. So very often, I always say this to people, if you feel lethargic, and now everyone feels lethargic, I'm sure everyone watching the show feels like they're glued to the sofa. But the ironic thing is when you feel like that and you go to do whatever you're doing, whatever activity, whether it's a class or something else, as soon as you get into it, in the endorphins, you know, that's the happy hormone that's released in your brain when you exercise. As soon as that's released, it's like, talking about the binge drinking, it's like a gin and tonic without the side effects.
See,
It's
that's
exactly
what you can do
like
instead.
that.
You don't need the binge drinking. You can go and do one of Jane's classes.
It's true, because if I'm teaching a class and I want them to do a bit of a sexy wiggle at the beginning, they won't do it. And then half an hour in, when they've got the endorphins, they're all shaking their stuff then. It's absolutely like a gin and tonic.
So, okay, so how can people, apart from doing a class, how can actually people get that motivation to do something in the first place?
Okay, so if we're talking about people who are going to make a New Year's resolution, is that what you mean? Someone who's maybe not been doing anything before?
Exactly.
Because there's also the issue of getting back into fitness after Christmas or between Christmas and New Year. But I think for people who want to make a New Year's resolution, it is a good time to start. And I do believe New Year is a good time to set yourself goals. But I think you need to be clear about two things: what you want to achieve in exact, precise terms and how you're going to do it. Because if you've got 10 out of 10 for motivation, but only 2 out of 10 for strategy, then you're not going to succeed. So I think have a clear goal in your mind. So it might be, I'm going to improve my fitness so that when I run up the stairs at work, I'm not feeling like I'm going to collapse. Or it might be that my legs don't ache if I walk up instead of taking the escalator on the underground or in you know, where you work. Or I want to lose weight, or I want to improve my fitness, you know, my blood pressure's high, or whatever it is. Know what you're going to do and then say, right, how am I going to do it? So if you want to lose weight, you need to look at your nutrition and you need to up your cardiovascular activity. So, you know, you might want to join a gym. That's the obvious thing, is to join a gym. But bearing in mind, they're not cheap, and you're usually tied in for 12 months unless you can find a community class. So have a look at the gyms by all means, but be realistic. Are you going to go 3 times a week with your kit in your bag? You know, are you really going to do that? And if you are, fantastic. But if not, perhaps start with something else and have that in your back pocket for a future strategy. So, you know,
what else could you do then?
I think, should we look at what's free? Let's think about what's free, because there's loads you can do for free. And it might sound a bit pathetic,
But my advice to anyone who's starting on fitness and they're not fit already at all is go walking. So invest in a pair of trainers and just walk anywhere. 15 minutes a day, start to increase it, start at a steady pace and increase the length and the pace that you're walking. It's totally free. And like right now, between Christmas and New Year, you're probably hanging in there thinking, right, 1st of January, I'm going to go for it. I wouldn't wait. I would get your trainers on.
That will stop you from kind of overindulging over the rest of the period.
Yeah, because after Christmas, people can feel really bloated and really lethargic. And that builds up cumulatively, doesn't it, until New Year. And then the reality is you don't get to the gym or wherever you're going
and you
until
put on a stone or half a stone.
Put on weight, everyone puts on weight. So if you're with family or you're going away somewhere, take your trainers and just say to your family, I'm going for a walk, does anybody want to come? And actually, when you all go out for a walk, it's actually really a nice thing to get out of the house, because we spend a lot of time in the house, don't we, over this festive season. So I would advise walking, that's number one, and it's free and it's good for you. And if you are already fit, you could perhaps think about putting in a little bit of jogging. Maybe when you walk, jog for 30 seconds, walk for a minute, jog for 30 seconds, walk for a minute. You should never put your trainers on, open your front door and sprint down the street.
Which is the best way to get injured, right?
Yeah, you will hurt your hamstrings, you know, you'll pull muscles, you'll hurt your knees. You need to warm up effectively. You know, you need to do warm-ups at home if you are going to jog. And watch your pace. A jogging pace is not that much faster than a power walk. And I've talked to loads of people who have gone out, sprinted down the road, nearly had a heart attack at the bottom junction of their road,
I know it's not funny,
turned back. It is though, isn't it? Turn back, totally turned off, disheartened, feel like they've failed. But bear in mind, that's not what you do. So when you start with interspersing a little bit of jogging into your walking. And, you know, time it, and you'll see over a period of time, you'll be surprised how you can increase that. But you need to start small.
Yeah,
so
I'm not very good at jogging. I'm quite. I can walk like for ages, but I seem to get out of breath and I get a stitch very easily as soon as I start. I think I tried to jog. I think I did about 30 seconds and I got a stitch and I thought I was going to pass out. Yeah. But then actually I continued with it, and afterwards I was able to actually go around the park once.
Sometimes you can run through it. Yeah. But I think the secret is the more you warm up and the more gradually you build up, the less likely you are to get that feeling. And actually they're not quite sure why we get a stitch. You know, there's various different opinions, but I think good warm-ups and gradually going into your speed is the secret. But don't feel you have to jog. You can go and walk, and it's free and it's easy, and it's, you know, and it's actually good thinking time. I make a lot of decisions. I've got a dog. That's another thing. Get a dog. Or borrow your friend's dog and go and walk. I make a lot of decisions, think things through when I'm walking. It's really nice me time. So there's that to it as well. It's good for the soul.
Is it good to do exercise with someone else, do you think?
I was going to say about that, I think it can be a double-edged sword. So I think, you know, if it's quite an intimidating thing to walk into a community class, say you've Googled Zumba wherever you live, and you've got to walk through those doors. They all know each other. You have no idea what you're going to do. Are you going to look silly? Are you going to fall over? That's how people feel. Where if you've got a friend by your side, I think you feel a lot braver in that respect. I really think that's true. So I think it's a good idea to sign up with a friend. But don't rely on that friend long term.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. You know, you get the text, oh, I'm not coming. And then it's like, do I go or not? I've got a few girls who come in couples. And there's one couple in particular, and one will come on her own, but the other one has never been on her own. So I know that one of them's strong, motivated, but the other one needs dragging along by a friend. So which one do you want to be? You know, you want to be the one that's the master of your own destiny. Don't rely on your friend, but go with them at first. And it is good to rely. You know, if you said to your friend, right, I'll meet you at 7 and we'll go. If at 10 to 7 you're slightly, oh, I'm a bit tired. If you're meeting your friend, you're more likely to go, aren't you? So this is the advantage to it. But then on the other hand, don't rely on them. You need to be in control of it yourself. So that's, I think it is a good idea, and family as well. It's a good idea to involve your family.
Children as well, maybe.
Yeah, go out to the park, walk the dog, go out with the children, and cycling is free. I know you've got to think about safety, and that's not always practical in winter, perhaps. But on a nice sunny, dry day, if you've got bikes or you could borrow bikes, it's an excellent form of exercise.
Even the London Transport bikes are only £1, aren't they, for the day?
That's a really good point, actually. So you could go and just hire a bike. You need to have a helmet and all that, but you know, you can sort all that out, and it is lovely to get the wind in your hair and feel free, and it raises the heart rate and really strengthens the legs as well.
What do you think about swimming?
Swimming is fabulous. It's more hassle in terms of you have to, if you go wash your hair all the time, and it can be a nuisance, but it's really cheap. Everyone's got a leisure centre, and I was going to say about leisure centres, they can be a good resource for you. If you're not sure you want to invest in a gym, go to your leisure centre. The standards vary. Don't pay up any money until you've sampled whatever it is you want to try. So have a look at their pool, have a swim in it. Is it clean? If you're interested in classes, I would go to the classes because, as I say, the standards vary.
How would you choose a class, by the way, as well?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know what sort of class should I go for. I don't know, yoga, should I go for Zumba? How would you decide if you want to like burn fat or something?
If you want to burn fat, you definitely need a class that's going to raise your heart rate. And some of them have titles like legs, bums, tums, which are quite generic. So you might want to say to them, is there an aerobic component or element to that class? Because that is definitely what you're looking for if you want to burn fat. So Zumba, definitely. Any type of aerobics, any type of circuit class. There's all sorts of classes like body attack and things that go on in the gyms. Body attack. There's a lot of body training systems, different classes. They're really good. So I would recommend those.
Okay.
Circuits is good. Boxercise is good, but Pilates and yoga, I mean, I teach Pilates, and I'm so passionate about it, and I love it, and I couldn't live without it. But I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who wants to lose weight.
Okay.
You know, you won't lose weight by doing Pilates. So if time is an issue, you've got to prioritise, haven't you? And look at what have I got time for. I think that's the other thing, you know, put in your diary, have 10 out of 10 for strategy as well as motivation. Yeah. So have a look, get a timetable, have a look at what you're going to do, or say to your friend, right, we're going walking. Yep, we're going to do it. Right, when? Put it in your diary together and really pin it down and know. Talk to your family and say, I'm not going to be around on this evening or this Saturday morning. Get the agreement and support of your family. Those logistical things will be your secret of success. And if you don't put those things in place, and if you don't ring fence it and make it happen and really believe that you're going to succeed, then it won't happen. You really have to work hard to make it happen. And don't you think it's interesting that, especially for women, we do a lot of things that we ought to do. We work and we do the laundry and we look after the children. But actually taking something for ourselves feels selfish, and actually it's not, because it makes you a happier,
That's true,
stronger
and you're more motivated, and you've got more energy to do those things as well.
And then you're a better mum and you're a better partner because you are feeling happy about yourself and you're strong and you're healthy. So take it for yourself and make it happen.
Okay, just a question about weight as well before we finish. If you are, say, on an exercise program, maybe not really on a diet, but you are exercising, how much weight should you be losing a week? If you're...
I think that's a really important question, and the listeners might not like what I'm going to say, but it's only 1 or 2 pounds a week. Don't go for any fad diets. Take the long view. Think about, where do I want to be by Easter? Where do I want to be when the clocks change? Where do I want to be when the daffodils come up? Don't think about where do I want to be in 2 weeks. 1 or 2 pounds a week. And if you lose weight in that way, you're losing body fat. You're not losing fluid or muscle mass. You're losing body fat. And it's so much more likely to stay off. So please don't lose more than that. And then you know you're doing it healthily. I know it's a bit frustrating for people who are thinking, right, what's the quick fix for me? But there isn't one. There isn't one.
Well, not one that's going to last anyway, because even though it's quick fixes, they don't.
No.
Right.
1 or 2 pounds a week
Lovely,
That's
Jane.
it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
That was
for
wonderful. I
having
look forward to
me.
seeing you again soon.
Yes,
right?
see you again, maybe in class soon.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so after the break, we'll be also joined by Andrew and Carol West, owners of Obsidian, and they'll be talking to us about the benefits of detoxing and also of juicing. So join us after this. Welcome back, and now joining me I have Andrew and Carol West from Obsidian. Hello.
Hi there.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Pleasure.
So we have all these lovely things on this table, but first of all, before we get to that, tell us about Obsidian. What is it and how did it start?
We're a health retreat in Spain. We opened 2 years ago. Last year we actually ran it from a house just to see how it would work. We had a 4-bedroom place. It worked so well that this year we've been running it from a 26-bedroom hotel.
Wow, that's expanded then.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
We have guests coming from literally all around the world. I mean, a lot coming from the UK. And we do detoxing, and we help people with weight loss, and we help people, particularly things like type 2 diabetes and things like that. We show them how by changing their diet, how they can come off their medication and getting control of their illnesses and
lovely.
things like that.
Okay. Now I've got here that you actually voted within the top 20 health retreats to visit by the Times.
Yes, that was a
Wow.
lovely honour to get
That was
that. It really
great.
was, yes.
Okay. So tell us about what you've brought here today, and we're going to be talking about juicing first of all, aren't we?
Okay.
Yeah.
A key part of what we do at Obsidian is juicing, and the reason we do it is twofold, really. First one is nutrition. We want to pack people with nutrition. We've talked about exercise and about drinking today. Alcohol depletes the body of B vitamins. This is a great way of packing it in. Well, you don't have to swallow a supplement and wait for it to work.
Yeah.
This is instant, because as soon as you've drunk the juice, within 20 minutes it's in the bloodstream.
Oh wow.
So
Okay,
it's
that's
literally
quick,
like
isn't it?
it's
Wow.
like a motorway into
Yeah.
into the body. It's fantastic. And we mix fruit and vegetables together. There's no rules. The only thing I'll say with juicing is don't try and juice things like bananas, because they go all mushy. It's
Yeah.
not good. Chili and garlic, be careful.
Stinky.
Stinky.
Okay.
Stinky and hot. Okay. Everything else is free game. So just play around with it. And as I say, what we do is we use juicing as a key part of the programme. A, because it's an easy way of getting the nutrition in, and B, because actually it helps the body to relax. So your nutrition, your digestion takes up 70% of your energy at times. So Christmas Day, we all fall asleep listening to the telly because our brain had to shut our body down because there was not enough energy to digest Christmas dinner. This is a great way of actually giving the digestive system a rest, giving that 70% of energy to the rest of
But
the
isn't
body
it good
to
for
heal.
it to be working because it's burning calories?
It is.
Yeah.
But then your liver needs a bit of help, and your kidneys need, and your
okay.
eyes and your brain and everything else. So what we're doing is just rebalancing.
Right. Okay.
All right. So that's why we use juicing. The rest of the food that we serve is high nutrition. So it's all vegan, plant-based. So there's no meat, no fish, no dairy, no eggs, no salt, no oil.
Now, can it be tasty still?
Oh, hell yeah.
Very much so. That's the thing that surprises people. That really is. And it's the same with the juicing. One of the things that people ask the question, they think, but I'll be hungry. You know, if I just have a juice for breakfast, surely I'll be hungry with it. And they're not. And the reason being is quite simple. It's because the body doesn't, or the brain doesn't understand calories. It's one of these misnomers. We all use calories, we count them, and there'll be lots of things going out in the press about counting calories and things.
Yeah.
But if I got now, probably people are sitting with them still at home from Christmas Day, but a 2,000 calorie bar of chocolate, and you ate it now, you'd be still hungry a couple of hours later, because the brain doesn't understand that. Give it a juice full and packed with nutrition, and the body gets its nutrients that it wants, and it says, I'm full. And it really surprised people. They have this juice, and 3 or 4 hours later is when they're starting to think about something again.
God,
It
that's
works
really good, isn't
fantastic.
it?
It works fantastic.
Okay, so you've got a selection of things here. Why in particular have you chosen these ones? Is it?
Well, it shows a range of what we use. A lot of the juices we use, apples, they have a sweetener base. If I was to
Right.
give you a juice that was
Because
just...
most people will just add sugar, right?
Yeah,
Which is
we
not
don't
good.
add sugar. No,
Not good
because
thing.
you need the natural. This is where we're cutting out all the additives and
Yeah.
we're going back to basics.
Okay.
If I was to just give you a glass of spinach juice, it's going to taste green.
Now, I love spinach, but I don't know, I can't imagine.
Just
having it as a
imagine
juice.
grass.
Yeah.
It's got like, and you're not going to drink it, and it's
Yeah.
going to put you off.
Okay.
So we use apple as a sweetener.
Right.
Kale, amazing, packed full of nutrition. So we use kale as well. Things like beetroot. Beetroot is fantastic for detoxing the blood. So we've all overindulged. We've talked about alcohol. It's great for helping to cleanse the blood. And the rest
Quite
of
a few of the Olympic athletes said that they
Yeah.
use beetroot juice as
Did they?
part.
Oh.
Yeah, it was there.
gives that
In
boost
fact,
of energy.
David Weir, the one who won the 5 Olympic golds, he beetroot juice was one of the things he swore by. It's fantastic.
Now, does it have to be the raw form, or can you get the ones in the pack and
If
use
you've got
that?
the ones
They're a
in
bit
the
mushy,
pack,
aren't they?
don't buy them with the vinegar.
Right, okay.
All right, buy them that they're packed in their own juice. They will still juice, but they will be a bit mushy. If you can't, over here in the UK, you're very blessed because you can get them.
Yeah,
most
they're quite,
anywhere.
yeah, you can get them.
We
yeah.
do struggle in Spain to get them. If they're not in season,
Yeah.
we do struggle. So get them raw if you can. And the other thing to remember is you don't have to peel them, chop them, as long as they're clean. You can see these beetroot have been nice and washed and the leaves are off. As long as they're clean, everything goes straight into the juicer.
Right, okay.
So it's
are you
clean and
going to give
easy.
us a demo?
I'm going to make you a ginger shot.
Oh, okay. I like ginger.
Good. This is going to be a little bit hot and you drink it straight down in one. That's why
Okay.
it's called a shot.
Ginger shots are very popular, and they're, particularly if somebody's going to just getting a cold, which many people will be again going into the new year, again for sort of been lacking in nutrients in the cold weather and things like that. And a ginger shot is a fantastic thing. We often give it to people. People have 3 or 4 a day, and you'll see why in a minute. Because if we've got it right, you'll do what we call the ginger judder.
Okay.
Now we'll see whether you
now
do.
I'm going to be aware of it. I'm going to try not to do it.
We'll do so
Okay,
into the
all right.
ginger judger.
Are we ready?
Yes, go ahead. Okay.
So that's 1 apple and a very large chunk of ginger.
Okay. Well, that was quick.
See, this is how quick it is.
Oh, it smells nice.
It's that really nice.
I think I did it
no-
before I ever tasted it, didn't I? Did it?
Yeah, you've had the judder already.
You've
yeah.
done the judder already. Now I'll only give you a little shot bit because if I give you the whole juice. Okay, it has to go down in one.
will I?
No, straight
Alright.
down in one.
That's very nice. It's hot. That's lovely though.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I
What
love
that's
it.
just done is that's just given the immune system a quick boost,
Yeah.
a quick kick. We even have some people who get in and do this in the morning. They have one of these rather than having their espresso shot or something, because again they're trying to wake themselves up and they're struggling, trying to get themselves off caffeine and things like that. So they have a ginger shot. Works so
Really
quickly,
nice.
really,
Just
really
wakes up
kicks
the
in.
whole, all your white
And it's
blood
good
cells.
for flu and stuff as well, isn't
It's
it?
fantastic
Yeah.
for breaking up mucus.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling a little bit bunged up, which after all the dairy and the chocolate and everything from Christmas, we're all going to have that horrible nasally type feeling. This is magic.
My throat is really warm right now.
So
Are your ears burning yet?
They are.
we'll make you a different one. What we're going to do now is we're going to
Okay.
make you a real green one. Again,
Right.
because Carol says you'll put apples in to start with. This would be the sort of juice that we would get people on and have for breakfast. And Carol will go through the ingredients
Okay.
with it.
So we're going to do spinach, a nice handful of spinach. Now I'm crushing it up. Don't put the engine on, because if this hits the spinner inside, you're not going to get any juice. So crush it up.
Okay.
Same with the kale. Squeeze it into a bowl and push it in. Now, health and safety, I do have to tell people, please do not put your hand in the tube when the juicer is on, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to push that down. I'm going to put a bit of lemon in. Lemon gives us the acidity, but it also helps to alkalise. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an inch in. Now, top of your thumb, put your thumb like that, bend it. That joint there is roughly an inch.
Right, okay.
So when I'm talking about an inch of,
Yes.
it's just that bit there, all right?
But the important bit there again, we're leaving the skin on. Actually, the goodness is in the skin.
Okay.
It's really important with it.
Roughly an inch of cucumber. Okay.
See, I wouldn't think of having cucumber for breakfast.
Oh, it's magic.
Or celery.
Celery, 1 stick of celery, because we like celery. It's fantastic for drawing the toxins out. You can see I'm making a bit of a sandwich now.
And the apple for the sweetness.
And the apple for the sweetness. Then you put the plunger on, ready for a bit of noise. And just push gently. Okay. Green juice. Now what we can do with this, if this is going to be breakfast, we want it to last a bit longer.
Okay.
So just to make you feel a little bit fuller, what I'm going to do is pop it into the blender. And I'm going to add avocado to it. And what the avocado is going to do is give you that slow release energy. So we're just going to peel it, because I know these are lovely and ripe. Look at these.
I love avocado.
These grow locally by us. It's amazing.
Really?
I could buy
That's so yummy.
four avocados for €1 the other day. I'm so
But
excited.
these are the things that really, really fill people. This is the
Yeah.
avocado part of it.
Make sure you put the lid on before you switch the engine on. You'll only make that mistake once.
And whiz.
Excuse me while I just And this is going to make it nice and smooth. should never do these things live. Oh, look at that green
That looks
goodness.
lovely.
Now we've got a bit of avocado stuck in the bottom of the pot, but okay.
Okay, let's
Have a
taste
taste.
this. Alrighty.
Let's put that in there.
That's really nice. It tastes like opal fruits. Starburst, I should say. You know the green one?
Yeah.
It tastes really good.
It's got the edge of the lemon.
Yeah, you get that.
That's the surprise for people,
Yeah.
that it
It's
tastes so
lovely.
good.
You've got the greenness, so you've got all the goodness of the chlorophyll and things from the kale and the spinach.
So I'm quite surprised to get that taste without any sugar whatsoever. It's really,
It's
really
the
good because
natural
normally
sugars.
anytime I make anything like this,
Yeah.
I'll add sugar
Natural sugars.
or honey or something
Yeah.
like that.
Don't need
at
it.
all.
I'm keeping this for
She's chugging the
Okay.
juice.
How often should you eat something like this then? Say if you're not actually doing a detox itself or you just sort of wanted to eat healthily.
One of the things that we recommend, if people really, if they say, I'm only going to make one change in my life, I'm not going to give up my meat and I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
We say, have one juice a day.
Okay.
Just substitute one meal for it. Ideally, have it for breakfast. And as you just said, that seems a bit
I
strange.
would love to have this for breakfast,
But-
but because I can't, sometimes I don't want toast. I feel a bit
Yeah.
sick in the morning, so I just want something.
Because
This would be
there's a
like
number of
doing it.
reasons why. First of all, the last thing maybe you ate was maybe 8 o'clock the night before. So you then
Or
or later, and then your stomach's had the night to digest.
Yeah.
When you have that, as Carol said, it's going to take 20 minutes. That's all it's going to take. So your stomach has still got time to rest through to when you then eat your meal at lunchtime. Plus, you're giving it all these nutrients to start the day. One of the thing is with juicing, there's so many great things about it, but people notice that it's fantastic for the skin, the hair feels better, their eyes go brighter, all because of just giving it its nutrition.
Have we seen the before and after picture? We don't need the after picture, the after's here, right? Can we see the before picture of them before they started the detoxing and the juicing and stuff? Can we bring that up on the screen? Where is it? Oh my gosh! How long ago was that?
Oh, that one there is,
2007?
yeah, it's
2008?
about 5-6 years ago.
You look younger now as well.
We're 96, really. Juicing's good.
Oh my god, that's fantastic!
Yeah.
So this is when you started doing.
We did, and to start with, that's what I said, all we did to start with was just had a juice for breakfast. We didn't do
Right.
anything else. The rest of our diet was still awful, but we got in doing that. And then it led into other things, because it just
Wow.
started with that, with the nutrition. So
I see
it's
why.
great.
So tell us a bit about detoxing as well, because I always I was
Okay.
under the impression that it's not very good for you because you're not eating much and that you shouldn't sort of deprive your body of nutrients. But tell us about why it is good.
I agree with, and there will be all sorts of extreme detoxes going on. There will be people doing very, very weird things starting in the new year. And they don't need to. We get phone calls and emails and inquiries about it often. People saying, look, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this liver flush and I'm going to do all these other things like that.
Yeah.
And they might harm you. We don't want to do that at all. What we want to do is, if you want to do a detox, actually, we're actually going to feed the body rather than starve the body. This is why we do it with juicing. So we're giving the body lots of nutrients. We're not eliminating, we're not cutting down, we're actually giving more. We're actually giving so many things that we've been missing. As Carol mentioned, one of the things that alcohol does is it strips the body of vitamin B. And we're going to give it loads of vitamin B with this. So we're going to resource it back in again. So it's detoxing can be and is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
2 days, 3 days. We often get a lot of people doing, they do 3 days of juicing when they first come out to us. It's often the thing that they do. And that again just helps to kick the body and helps to get it reset, and then they can start to add things back into their diet again.
You're talking about sugar. With the 3 days of juicing, what happens is you clean your palate. So all the sugar and the salt and the oil that you're used to by eating foods, actually it cleanses. So when you do go back to normal food, you'll actually know that you're tasting the difference.
Right.
So we've noticed it, people always say about things like, we had a lady with fish and chips. She did the 3-day detox, then she went and had fish and chips, and she stormed in really annoyed going, I hated it, it's your fault. And I said, no, you could actually taste the oil and the salt. And it was just, she said, it was just horrible. And I said, but you had a coating in your mouth that you never knew was there. So what you're doing is just cleansing. You
So do
enter
people
your
normally end up eating much healthier after they've done something like this?
Often they do. The only thing that you have to be aware with it is potentially you're going to have a few side effects. And that could be that you might have a few headaches. It could be that you might go run to the toilet a few times. There may be things because the body's
That's a
got
good
to.
thing though, isn't it?
Well, it is because the body's
Not
got
the
to.
headaches.
Well,
No,
you're,
but the body.
you're detoxing, so
Yeah.
the toxins
body's
have got to
got
come
to-
out
it's got to
somewhere. So it's
eliminate.
either going to go that way or it's going to come up that.
Right.
Yeah,
It's better out than in.
so that's the only thing with it is you're possibly going to have those side. Not always. The other thing to do though, while you're doing this, is drink plenty of water.
Right.
because again we're using it as a flush. We're using nutrition and we're using water to flush the body through.
How often should you do a detox? Was it only just after Christmas when you've stopped?
No, quite often. I mean, we personally, about every 3 months we do one.
You do 3 days?
We do 3 days. Yeah, we do that. Yeah, we have some people who do a lot longer than that, but we don't know. We do 3 days and then feel good. I still like, I love juicing, as I say, I do once or twice a day, but I still love to chew. I still love the eating part of it. So after 3 days, I'm ready to chew and eat something again. So, but different people are different things.
Just interested in what you to eat, like for dinner and stuff. What would you normally have?
We always have a juice for breakfast.
Right.
Always. This juicer has been halfway around the world with us. We took him to San Diego in September. It weighs 10 kilos of his luggage allowance, not mine.
Yeah, of course.
So we take the juicer everywhere with us. So we juice every day for breakfast. Lunch tends to be either a juice, soup, salad, fruit, something like that. And in the evening, because I do all the cooking at the retreat, we have a kitchen there. If we're not at home, we'll go to the retreat, and it's all vegan food. So it's pasta. It's not pastas. It's grains. It's rices. It's pulses. It's vegetables. It's delicious stuff. Imam Bayaldi, wonderful Turkish stew that's made with aubergines and cinnamon.
That sounds nice.
Gorgeous.
Okay.
We have a 4-week menu. And buffet style at night. So every night there's 3 or 4 different dishes out. And this is what again will surprise you people, because they think they're just going to eat salad.
Yeah.
And they're not. There is so many tasty food. You can do so much with veg nowadays. And what we love is we're coming over. We're finding more and more the restaurants over in the UK are getting into it.
They are, yeah.
And it's great. So.
What about desserts? What would you say, like a vegan dessert would be nice one?
You can have vegan desserts. We do vegan cakes when it's birthdays.
Right.
We had one the other day. It was someone's birthday, so we make a vegan cake. You just got to be aware that they're slightly higher in calories because they use oil rather than butter.
Yeah.
But we've developed a way of using stewed apples instead of the butter, so it takes the calories down.
Oh, right.
So it is possible. But what you'll find is because they tend to use raw ingredients like nuts and dates to make the base of a cheesecake or something, they're going to be slightly higher in calories. So you actually need a smaller amount, which I know when you're talking about desserts is the wrong thing, but actually a smaller portion, but you will feel fuller quicker, again, because the nutrition goes into the body and the body says, I've got everything I need, thank you very much.
That's it. Okay, lovely. Thank you so much. Very educational. I can't wait to have the rest of this in privacy, where I can really, really enjoy it. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Okay, so as you know, our body is precious and it's ours to look after, because if we don't look after it well, no one else will. And if we abuse it with drinking, overeating or eating rubbish, it will eventually pack up. So please, please do take care of yourselves. That's it for the Chrissy Show for today, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.
You'll get the results that you're looking for.
I agree. It's done 2 hours to say anything else.
It's really intense. What's good? And look at Barbara.
She's like...
My